Welcome to Sensible Health Solutions, the show where we simplify health and wellness. Join your hosts, Hallie Fields and Dr. Scott Luper, as they share practical tips and expert insight to help you navigate common ailments, nutrition, and overall well-being. Tune in for straightforward advice that empowers you to live a healthier life.
Good morning, Dr. Luper.
Good morning, Haley. How you doing?
Good.
Good. So I've been thinking about how to get healthy. I mean, we spend a lot of time.
That's what we do all day,
I know,
every
we do
day.
every day. So it's something that's on my mind. And also, I have a couple of exchange students living with me, and I have a 10-year-old living with me as well, my own. And so I get to see human beings in the raw. These are young people, more in touch with their basic instincts. And what I've noticed is that they like sugar.
Yes.
And they like video games. And they like, they like things that it's interesting that they would have this instinct to do things that are not healthy for them. You'd think, where the heck does that come from? I mean, what a screwy system we have. Our instincts are telling us to do stuff that's bad for us. I mean, our instincts should be there to have us eat carrots and broccoli, right?
Right.
And turns out that our instincts are actually correct. That in nature, things that are sweet are better. They have more nutrients, they have more calcium, they have more potassium, they have more. Sugar turns out to be a marker of a sweet of fabulosity in foods, in nature. Except for the modern world we live in, the food manufacturers have learned how to become aware of the instincts that we have and then how to modify foods to concentrate those things that we like that are markers of nutrition to the point where there is no nutrition. All there is the marker.
Sure.
Interesting, isn't it?
Yes.
And so, my little boy, God bless him, is vigorously seeking out the best foods he can get. Because when he does so, his brain says, you did a good job. This thing that you have, these brownies here, these are fabulous.
Yeah, this will make you survive. And it will, but it will also cause a lot of inflammation and irritability within the gut and immune system as a whole.
Yeah. So the whole system, it turns out, sucks. That we've inherited from our caveman ancestors.
Well, not that it sucks that modern food industries have bastardized the way that we take in our food.
Yeah, what's the chances we're going to change that? Not at all. So I'm even going to try. The better thing to do is in reality, and again, I'm trying to figure out reality here, is that if you just follow your instincts, and it's hard not to because our instincts, give us pleasure when we find things that are good, pie, right, whatever. And so our instincts are to eat those things. And if you just follow your instincts, eventually what happens is you don't move into a realm of happiness and joy, you break. That's what happens. Literally, your body needs things that it can't get, or it's getting too much of stuff it can't deal with. And so then it breaks and something happens. And now your body failed you, and you have this problem that you didn't used to have. And now you have it, and it's horrible. Yet, you know what it is? It's an entry point, because what happens is you are highly motivated now that your bit broke, and so you want to make a change to get that thing fixed.
Yeah.
And so if you're willing and smart enough, really, just get down to it. You just got enough common sense to get to the bottom of this thing. You can actually make a change in your life for the better. This is how change happens. This is, more than anything, what motivates people to do the things, to set up a system in their life, to eat healthy and exercise and sleep at night and have meaning and purpose. To set up that system is so that everything works well, so that you can get real happiness and real satisfaction out of life. So what this is, again, I'll use the word, it's called an entry point, because your instincts are going to set you up for a pattern that doesn't lead to health. And what you're going to have to do is you have to use your brain and, common sense to be able to figure out how to really live, to do this in a way that really is going to help you. Now, some people have an instinct to eat carrots and some people don't. So there's that. There's some variation in the human population. But generally speaking, what we're really set to do is eat sweets.
Right. And when I think of eating sweets, as a kid, this wasn't an issue. But now, as an adult, when I eat sweets, I break out. My skin looks awful. I get acne, and I just look gross. I look tired. My pigmentation is off. So I think how to get healthy in this series, we should talk about skin health because
Yeah,
it
you're right.
is the
You're right.
largest organ in our body,
Yeah,
and
this is a common entry point for sure.
a huge indicator on how the rest of our immune system is operating and what our gut health is looking like. So
Yeah, so let's talk about skin. This breakout, we're talking acne.
yeah,
Yeah, you're getting acne. Do you know what the connection between sugar and acne is?
no,
Yeah, it's interesting. Okay,
because sugar is sticky
no,
and it clogs up your pores.
no. What here? It's simpler than that. Acne is caused by bacteria overgrowing in your pores.
Okay.
So in order to have acne, you need to have a pore. You need to have bacteria. You need to have something for the bacteria to eat.
So they eat sugar.
They like sugar best.
What about hormonal acne? Does the sugar affect the hormones?
Hormone makes more grease.
Okay.
And so now they have grease to eat also.
Oh.
Okay. Now there's also the pore needs to get clogged. So oxidized grease tends to be hard and tough, and you get blackheads or whiteheads and stuff like that. So you get pores that are clogged. But the main thing is when you get a zit, that's bacteria overgrowing. That's a mini infection in your skin is what it is. It just happens to be situated in your pores.
Yeah.
Right. So why do teenagers get it and kids don't get it? Because teenagers make more grease. Their pores tend to be narrower because they're remodeling, and so there's some structural reasons. The size of the pores are part of it. What food is available in the pores. Little kids tend to have small pores, but they also have not greasy skin.
And they don't have as many hormones.
So the hormones make grease.
Yes.
That's what the hormones are.
Right.
Okay. That's grease. It's food.
Yep.
You got to have bacteria, food for them to live on, and a pore for them to grow a zit on. Without pores, you don't get acne. Okay?
Yeah.
And without bacteria, you don't get
And
acne.
even as a kid, even as a teenager, I didn't suffer with acne through high school. It was only until I had a child, after I became a mother, is when I started to suffer from acne.
So usually what happens is somehow your ability to manage sugar goes cattywampus. Because little kids are just better at managing sugar. They're I don't know, designed for it or something. And so they tend to keep their sugars more even. As we get older, our body gets tired and doesn't produce the hormones as much, and so our sugars tend to heave. They go up and then they crash. They go up and they go crash. Whereas a kid, they tend to float more. And if you do go up, it comes down. Your body manages it better. So sugar really is an issue here. Ain't no doubt about it. So let me just keep it simple. How I treat acne is I treat it like diabetes. I do the same thing I do for diabetes as I do for acne. What I have people do is eat in such a way that the blood sugars don't go high, and eat in such a way that blood sugars don't go low. And so what that boils down to is you got to eat protein with every meal. I should go slower on this one.
Yeah.
Protein with every meal, because that helps balance your blood sugars out. Blood sugars has a real hard time going up high when there's protein in your diet. So every meal needs to have protein in it. How much? Some, not that much, 3-4 ounces, something like that. Maybe 2, depending on how active you are. But at least some, bottom line. What kind of protein? Stuff that's relatively easy to digest. Beef jerky is not a good source of protein. Pepperoni and salami and lunch meats tend not to be good source of protein because they're hard to digest. Better sources of protein are fresh meat, eggs, fish, stuff like that. The things that are easier to digest tend to work better. Okay, there it is. In addition, what you need to do is you need to avoid sugar and flour, not completely, but less than people do by instinct.
Sugar and flour, so carbs?
Yeah, so sugar was what feeds the bacteria, and then flour is sugar made into these long strands called starches. And starches, if you take them and you break them up, they turn into sugar. So I just said the same thing twice.
Yes.
Flour turns into sugar so fast that it'll make your blood sugars go up higher than if you eat sugar. Which is funny.
Yeah.
How's that even possible?
Yeah.
But that's a fact.
Because it's just
Easily available sugar.
Yes.
It's a form of sugar. Flour. Now, notice I didn't say wheat flour or corn flour or other flour. I just said flour in general. You take carbohydrates, you grind them into a powder, and they go easily and quickly into sugar and bloodstream. So that's why we like stuff that's made of flour.
Yeah.
Because it makes our blood sugars go up, and our brain says, "Woohoo! Good job! This
You're
one I like."
surviving. Yeah, good job.
This one's good. So those kinds of things. The other thing is you need lots of fiber in your diet. And so it boils down to the same thing we keep talking about every time. You need to eat
right,
lots of
and
vegetables.
exercise?
Yeah, and exercise too. That helps. So exercise, what that does is it ends up using up those sugars, and it sets up a system to where you deplete the shallow stores of sugar. So when you do eat something, it goes back into the shallow stores. It gets pulled out of the bloodstream fast, so it's not available to the bacteria for very long, and it gets put into a storage form called glycogen that you use to run the machinery of your body. So I don't know if you knew this, but you have your two stores of calories. You have the stuff we can burn now, that's called glycogen. And there's also some glucose and some other things there as well. But remember, everything I tell you is an oversimplification.
Right.
Has to be, because I can tell you all the details.
Because we only have 30 minutes.
Right. The big picture is you got shallow stores of
Yeah.
sugar and you got deep stores of sugar.
And that's the brown fat.
And deep stores of sugar are just fat, not
Yeah.
necessarily brown fat. Brown fat's another thing altogether that's a metabolically active fat that burns calories like crazy to make heat. White fat,
Okay.
which is actually kind of yellow, white fat is where calories are stored, and that's a deep store of sugar. So if you run out of your shallow stores, you're hungry, your body says, hey, we need some calories here, you'll start pulling it out of fat, and then use that. Anyways, the trick of this whole thing is keeping your blood sugars even and don't let the spikes happen. Now you realize we're talking teenagers here.
Yeah, but teenagers,
This is the least likely population I have ever found to be able to control their sugars.
right.
Because they're moving into independence.
Yeah.
So they can eat whatever they want.
Yeah,
And they know
especially when
by
they got
instinct.
keys to their
I
own
have
car.
I have two teenagers living with me right now, and one of them strives to try to be healthy. She's working it hard.
Yeah.
But she still likes sugar. And the other one doesn't even try. She's like, wow, this is my time to eat sugar. I'm going for it. Anything healthy, I don't really like that.
I think
Can we have brownies?
I think
for
I'm
dinner?
doing a pretty good job at instilling my daughter with health. I'm not the mom that gives her cereal. I'm not the mom that gives her all of these snack junkies. And about, 3 months ago, she says, Mommy, I just have so many goals. And I'm like, oh, that's good. What are your goals? And she says, I want to live a very long time, and I don't want to get diabetes or cancer.
Well, that's great.
And I said, wonderful. We can work on that.
So she's seen diabetes in your family because
Yep.
the elders in your family
Yep.
all have diabetes. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah.
So she got to see that out. Good. You got a smart girl. She's paying attention.
But she still, asks me for Cheerios, and I feel bad. I feel like I'm depriving my child of a, true childhood. So I bought her some Cheerios from the store last night.
Right. Me too.
Yeah,
Same
and
thing. I can
so
tell the
we
same
can have
story.
Cheerios
Exactly.
like once or twice a week.
Yeah. So we strive to come up with a balance here. But the problem is our instincts, want us to eat carbs and sugar.
Well, even as an adult, I find it hard to even manage it myself, because who's the boss of me? I don't
Yeah.
have any parents monitoring my diet,
Yes, you're right. Exactly.
and I want a good girl treat
Yes. And,
all the time.
Right. There it is. And so when your blood sugars go up, you got more sugar available for the bacteria that live in your skin. They grow, and now you got a zit.
Yeah.
That's what happens, just like that. You got a zit. And so the way to do this is get your blood sugars to come down and your skin will clear. Now, there's other ways to treat acne. And the standard way to treat acne is to take an antibiotic. That way the bacteria can't grow because you have antibiotics in your system all the time, which is great for your skin. Except
Not
it sucks
good
for the
for
rest of your body
yours.
because we need bacteria.
Yeah, and I think it would destroy your gut microbiome, and that would be poor for your skin as well.
Yep. Yes,
so
you're right.
the next skin ailment I think we should discuss is eczema, because it's so common in Alaska in this dry climate. But I'm more so curious. My daughter has pretty significant eczema. Doesn't bother her too much. She doesn't itch a lot, but when you just feel her skin, it feels like sandpaper.
So eczema is common, especially here in Fairbanks because the water content of the air is so low. When it gets cold, it freezes the water out of the air and forms frost on everything. That frost used to be in the air.
Yeah.
And now it's not in the air anymore. Now the air is dry. And so for the first time in my life when I moved to Fairbanks, I got a rash mostly on my legs. Dry, itchy, scratchy eczema is what I end up getting. I never had eczema in my life. Now, I grew up in Oregon where it's moist. You put the couch against the wall and it starts growing black mold, right?
Yeah.
So it was just a shock and a horror to me that had this happen. And at that moment in time, I didn't know what to do. But thank goodness I had patience. And, I get to talking about stuff. And somehow we got to talk about skin stuff. And they say, Dr. Luper, you need to use lotion. And I said, okay, I used lotion and immediately went away. So it was great. It was great. Except for I hate lotion. I don't want to use lotion. I want to find a better way to do this. And I think, what is lotion doing? So let's talk about eczema. What eczema is, it's when the skin has an inflammatory reaction. So here's the bottom of skin, here's the top of skin. What happens is it dries out, you get these cracks, bacteria and dust and who knows what falls into these cracks, stuff, right? Generates a reaction, an immune system reaction. Then the skin starts dividing faster. It gets itchy. It tends to flake more. You get this reaction is what it is. That's eczema. And so then the question is, what's causing the reaction? Now, most of the time, at least around here, what it's causing is dry skin. That's the original insult to the skin. The skin cracks. Now, it doesn't look like there's cracks there. You can't see the cracks because the cracks are microscopic, but they're there. And if you can fill those cracks in, then your body doesn't get so much irritation, and you do better. Now, the problem with the lotion is the lotion doesn't stick very well because it gets washed off. And not only that, but lotion manufacturers have designed lotion in such a way that it's gooey when it goes on, and then it dries. What it has is alcohol in it. And when it dries, it pulls the moisture out of your skin and literally makes your skin drier. Mm-hmm. Not every brand does this, but a lot of them do. The ones that go on, they feel great, and then they disappear.
And then
those are the worst.
Dry again.
Yeah. So you have to put more lotion on.
Aveeno, alcohol. Aveeno markets itself as this organic, gentle lotion. Yeah. It has alcohol.
That's what it is. So these are bad. So the kind of lotion that works better is stuff that's got an oil base to it. It's got beeswax in it.
Shea butter.
Stuff like that. Greasy things.
Yeah.
Now, the problem with this, you put these on, and now your hands are greasy.
Covered in it. Yeah, I put lotion on my girl, and she's like, ew. Why? Ew. Like, take it off. I'm like, no, it has to be on. It's helping. And she's like, it feels gross.
I'm the same way. I hate it. I hate that feeling, that greasy feeling. I don't want it at all. So there's another way to get the oil into your skin. It doesn't work as fast. So I still do lotion. We have this thing called calendula cream that we use. It's got calendula in it, which is an herb that stimulates the healing of those cracks.
And reduces inflammation. Yeah,
and so it's also got vitamin E in it, and it's got vitamin A, and it's got a bunch of stuff in it that the skin needs to heal those cracks. It's a crack healing spackle, is what it is.
Yeah.
It's heavy, it's greasy, it's like that. So the best time to put it on is at night, and so that it just sits on your skin, you're not rubbing it off as you're running through your life. If you got a hand problem, a lot of times I'll have people put it on and put gloves on, so then it stays on your hands, gets a chance to soak in. But the better way to do this thing, really in the long run, is to put oil into your body that gets put into your skin. And the best oil I've found so far to do this is fish oil. Now, we're suspicious that chia oil might be better.
Yeah, so we recently just discovered chia oil, and in my particular taste, I like the chia oil. I like that nutty flavor.
Yeah, it's better.
Yeah, it's way better. The Carlson's fish oil still has a tinge of fish.
They take the fish out by filtering it.
Yeah.
But it still leaves just a little hint.
Yeah, there's a hint.
It's a little fishy.
Yeah, it's slightly. And so I've been putting it in smoothies, which pretty well masks it. You can kind of still, depending, because I like to put a lot of fish oil in my smoothie because I know how dry I am. So, yeah, it comes out.
Flax oil is pretty good, too. You'd think the other oils are good too, and they are to some extent, but not as much. They're not as penetrating. Olive oil, I haven't noticed really do much of anything. It doesn't really help. Olive oil. Like if you eat olive oil, it doesn't seem to help the skin very much.
Yeah, but I am cooking a lot with olive oil, so.
Me too. It has other things that it's useful.
And it does hold with heat to a degree.
But it doesn't fix eczema.
Right.
That is my point.
Yes.
So what's the best one for eczema that I know of right now? Fish oil.
Okay.
Maybe chia oil is better. The research looks pretty good.
Can we talk a little bit about why eczema? What is the breakdown? You talked about the skin breaking down. Is there any deeper underlying cause?
Yeah, for sure. And the inflammation is a driving force in eczema. And so lots of people, not
Is it
everybody.
always going to be inflammation?
Yes, always.
Always.
Now, the inflammation is either going to be always is the word. It's going to either be caused by the cracks, or it's going to be caused by some inflammatory processes going inside the body. So you can get inflammation from other sources. Let's say you got some kind of infection in your gut, and it's irritating your immune system, and so your immune system gets jacked up. Now you got inflammation. So it could be that your eczema is actually being caused by your digestive system. So you got diarrhea, you got constipation, you got colitis, you got something like that, and you got a skin problem, chances are your guts are part of this whole thing. Also, some people's immune systems just get sensitive to stuff. They get allergies, and the allergy will drive this thing as well. It's interesting, it's not a majority of cases, at least not around here it isn't. Most people with eczema don't have allergies.
My girl
A lot of
has
them do.
allergies.
A lot of them do. A lot of them
And
do.
she didn't have allergies from birth. She developed allergies around 5 years old. And each year it's kind of significantly gotten worse and worse. And so is her eczema.
So we got to calm the immune system down. Now, we can do hours of conversation about this, but I'm going to keep it simple. How do you calm someone's immune system down? One of the easiest things to do to start with, I'd say step number one, is to take vitamin D. To get your vitamin D levels up solidly in the middle of the normal range, vitamin D is an amazing regulator of inflammation. We don't want to shut inflammation down because we need it. Inflammation is healing. You can't shut off healing. You shut off healing, you're screwed. You never heal. Your body falls apart. So we need inflammation. We just don't want excessive inflammation. So we want to regulate inflammation. And vitamin D is one of the main ways the body regulates inflammation. And we could talk more and more about this. But vitamin D is a thing that should be in, if you got eczema, you should be taking vitamin D. So how much? It varies from person to person. Enough to get your vitamin D levels in a blood test up to around 60, 70, somewhere around there. So how much does it take to do that? It depends. I can't tell you what the dose is. It's different. Some people, adults mind you, only have to take 4,000 IUs to get there. Other people have to take 24,000.
yeah.
24,000 to get there. Seriously. So there's a lot of variability on people's ability to absorb vitamin D and incorporate it into their bodies. And if you do take vitamin D, you need to take vitamin K, in order to help with you don't get the absorption. The calcium doesn't deposited inappropriately. Again, a whole nother show we could do on that thing. Just keep it back to the skin thing. So vitamin D is helpful. Fish oil is helpful. The other thing is if you want to reduce inflammation, if you're eating crap and you're getting a lot of stomach problems, this is a problem. You got to clean that up. So you got to start eating things that don't cause stomach problems. So we're back to eating protein, lowish carbs.
Digestible foods.
Yeah, digestible foods is the key thing. I'm glad you pointed that out.
Yeah.
Because it's a concept that not everybody really has clear in their head. So let me say it again. If you break the food down 100% and you absorb all the nutrients from it, you get them.
Yep.
If you don't break the food down 100% and you leave the nutrients in it, somebody else gets them. That somebody else lives in you. You have bacteria in your gut, and if undigested food gets down to your lower intestine, that bacteria breaks it down and then uses it.
Yeah.
Except for if they don't use all of it, they don't eat all of it, they eat what they want and they poop out what they don't want. The out stuff is nasty. Now we're doing the same thing. All living creatures, sort through and take what they want and poop out what they don't want. But that out stuff is nasty. It's inflammatory. It's irritating. It's hard on your body. It'll make it more likely for you to get eczema. It'll more likely for you to get allergies.
Yes.
It'll actually be one of the things that triggers your body to get a sensitivity to food is by having this undigested food in your digestive system. So you want to be really careful. You want to eat foods. First of all, don't overeat, and then don't eat things that won't rot.
And that's the preserved foods. That is
preservatives.
Preserved, processed foods.
The preservatives preserve food from rotting.
Right.
Rotting is another name for digestion.
Right. That's breaking down in our bodies. We want the food that we consume to be able to
be broken down.
If not, it sits there and the bad bugs eat it and then excrete their toxins and build more.
So
bad
modern
bacteria.
bread, you put it on the counter and it doesn't mold and it's fine. A week later, you're taking slices out of it. How do they do that? That shouldn't be. That bread should mold in a day and a half. Right? You got to eat fresh bread. Day-old bread is okay. 2-day-old bread, forget it. And it's past now. And you got to throw it away. That's how bread should be. And if bread's like that, then you can digest it. If it's not like that, then something went wrong. I'm sorry, in America, it's like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
That's normal bread.
Yeah.
Yeah, it sure is.
Yeah, my bread's been on my counter for a week.
Oh, bad idea.
Yeah.
But we live in the culture we live in. That's how it goes.
Yeah.
So you can make your own bread, but man, that's a lifestyle. That's a lot of effort.
I have tried. I think that's a winter activity, and a few winters ago, I went through a little phase, had a sourdough, and fed it, and, attempted to make sourdough bread, but couldn't get the rise right, so...
That's another show we can do.
We can do a show about bread. We have a special guest we could invite who knows all about it. Well,
You need heat.
We do have a few more minutes.
Okay, so let's go back to the eczema thing. So the key thing, let's go through the list of how to treat eczema. Number one, you got to heal those cracks up. Now, if what you do, because your skin is itchy, and you take your hand and you scratch it, you're making cracks.
Yeah.
So you could, whatever the original insult, you had ate something and it made inflammation, and you got this thing going, and then they got the rash going, but now that is long gone. That has already been fixed. It's fine. There's nothing, and I still have the rash. What's that all about? This, because all you need to do is crack it with your fingers, and it'll make a rash. So you can literally keep the rash going for the rest of your life just by scratching it. I'm sorry, you can't scratch it. You have to quit scratching.
Yep.
So now what do I do? It's because I itch. Well, what you're going to do is you're going to put something on to heal those cracks up, some kind of salve. Mm-hmm. You put a heavy salve on it. Right? So you got not the normal lotion you get from the grocery store, but something heavier. Fill the cracks up with spackle, and then sleep for a few days, and they'll start to heal up, and the itching will go away. You're going to feel better for it. Meanwhile, you're going to be chugging some kind of oil, fish oil, chia oil, flax oil, some kind of oil in your system. Now, chug, how much are we talking about here? I'd say minimum a tablespoon, more likely 2.
2
now,
ounces?
3 tablespoons, not an ounce. Ounce is too much. Tablespoon.
Okay.
So there's 4 tablespoons in an ounce. So,
okay.
Yeah, not that much. The thing about it is the oil is if you start chugging, ounces of it, there's no way your body's going to be able to break it down and absorb it. You're going to be sending undigested oil down to your lower intestine, and you're going to start feeding the oil bacteria. Now, they're not as bad as the carb bacteria.
Yeah.
The carb ones are worse, but still, we don't want to be sending that oil down because you're not getting any use out of it. You're just wasting your money.
Yeah.
So a tablespoon or 2, depending on how good of an oil digester you are, somewhere around there. So if you're a little kid, maybe a teaspoon, maybe a teaspoon and a half, like your daughter. Whereas an adult, again, a minimum is a tablespoon. Most of the time I start adults at 2 tablespoons with this. Now, you're not going to expect to see any change in a day. It's not going to happen.
No.
It takes a while to heal those cracks up. How long? If everything goes swimmingly well, I don't know, 2 weeks, something like that, about that. So it's a process. The other thing is you got to reduce inflammation. Vitamin D is a good inflammation reducer. We use herbs to do it. Curcumin's a good one. Glycerin is a good one. Ganoderma is a good one. There's a bunch of stuff that you can take.
I couldn't imagine my 8-year-old taking the anti-inflammatory tincture.
There's that. So
Yeah.
goodness about kids, you don't have to work so hard.
Right.
They tend to get better on their own.
Yeah.
You just do a little bit. You can never take oil to probably just get rid of the thing.
Right.
Oil and vitamin D,
That'll...
you're probably just going to take care of the eczema like that. And just the thing is, you can't expect it to turn immediately. You got to give it some time. Now, what about hydrocortisone cream? What about steroids? They work. They're fabulous because there's an inflammatory effect about these things. The problem is when you shut down the inflammation,
Yeah.
you shut down healing. And so if you don't heal, what happens is your skin gets thinner
Yeah.
and it gets more delicate.
Yep.
And eventually you'll ruin your skin.
Yeah.
So you can't use steroids for very long.
No.
There's that. So now what? I mean, we can knock it down
Yeah.
today, but we got to do something else.
Yeah.
Okay.
Long term.
Yeah. So no, these are relatively light cases of eczema, kind of normal stuff that comes in. I've had people covered like head to toe with eczema, or kids that were just broken out on their face and every part of their body.
Yeah.
And what we end up having to do with those kids, every single one of them, is treat the infections in their guts because they always,
Have
in my
infections
experience,
in
have
them.
infection in their guts. Always. I've never seen a kid like that didn't have infections. And you clear the infections up, you reduce the inflammation, you can get them to turn. We routinely treat, this is called atopic dermatitis, routinely treat successfully doing skin stuff and gut stuff together at the same time and clear those kids up. Thank goodness.
Yes, thank goodness. Well, I think we are about out of time, Dr. Luper.
Okay.
All right, wonderful. Thank you so much.
Very good.
Thanks for tuning in to another episode of Sensible Health Solutions. We hope you found today's discussion enlightening and packed with practical tips to enhance your wellness journey. Remember, small changes can lead to big results. If you enjoyed the episode, don't forget to subscribe and leave us a review on your favorite podcast platform. Your feedback helps us bring you the best content possible. Stay connected with us on social media for more health insights and updates. You can find us at Sensible Health Solutions across all social platforms. Until next time, stay sensible and stay healthy. This content is for informational purposes only and is not a substitute for professional medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment. Seek medical advice from a healthcare professional for any medical conditions.